Hello Unity developers and artists. This video is going to be about using Mixamo in Unity with Mechanim. Now, without purchasing anything, there is free content available. So on the Mixamo website, you'll notice there's a character section and an animation section. So we always start with the characters, and in the free category, you'll notice there are a number of free models that you can use, which is great, and you download these in the Unity FBX format, and then you can go over to the animation tab, and there are a number of free animations. So that's the one approach. The other approach is you can use the free characters, but then you use Unlimited Plus, and that gives you free access to just the animation. So everything in the animation catalog becomes free. The other option is All Access. And with All Access, you've got it for a year subscription. You have full access to all the animations and all the characters. So in this video, I want to do like a zombie crawling on the floor kind of thing. So let's find a zombie. So let's pick a creature. I want to use the cop zombie. So I'm clicking cop zombie, and now it's working as expected. So the first thing when you select a character, it loads this Mixamo player, and then you can see the character being animated. Now in my case, I just want to use the T-pose. So we're going to download this model. First we have to check out, and this is one reason why you want to have the full access, because it's free. Now at the top here, it's still making a thumbnail or whatever, but if we want to work on mobile, you want to use the low resolution mesh. Now for this example, I'll just stick with the high resolution, and we want to have the skin on there. So it looks cool. The download format, we want to use FBX for Unity, and download that sucker. And this is going to go right into our project. For this demo, we need a new Unity project, so I'll go drop this into assets and start making folders. So we'll have models, and this is important. When you save your model, you want to remove the @T-pose, otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so just there's the FBX, save that guy. Okay, so now we have the model. I'm done with the browser part of it. Now if I can hop back into Unity, there we go. Alright, so I'll start with a tall layout. And I like the one column layout. Okay, so here's our model, our cop zombie. Great. Now, I want a new folder to hold my scene, so scenes to keep this organized. Alright, I'm going to save this scene as the scene. Great. Okay, so far I've got the FBX model and the scene. Alright, now I'm going to open Mechanim. There we go, Unlimited from Mixamo. Import that guy. That'll give us a store component so we can browse the animation clips. Okay, and now under Window, we have the Mixamo store. Excellent. Okay. Now for this example, I wanted to have like a zombie crawling around and like moving his hands and stuff. So the whole point is to show like two animations on the same model kind of thing with Mechanim. So first we drag the cop zombie over to the character slot, and since it has, I took off that @T-pose thing, that makes it possible to drag and drop. Otherwise you get an error about some animation thing. Alright, now we select our motion, and we want like a laying down type animation. Laying idle. There we go. Alright, so I want to combine like a laying idle with like a hand punching thing. Okay, so we'll do laying idle. And now with that selected, I can hop down here, and preview will preview it. I just want to click Buy, and it'll download the anim file, the animation file. After a little bit, it talks to the server. It adds it to your Unity purchases. Okay, anyways, after we buy it, then we can import the animation. Okay, cool. Now I want one other thing, which is like punching. So I want like there we go. All right. So I want to show like two different animations combined here, because you can see his legs are moving and he's punching. I only want to use like the punching part of his top half, and I want to use the laying down part of the animation. And after it's done with its thing, I'll get an import notification. Here we go. Import. And now I'm done with the store. And I'm done with this previewer. So now we have our two cop zombie animations, and I'll make a new folder for animations. Okay. Now to use this in Mechanim, we need a couple other things. So let's create a folder for controllers. And then the controllers I'm going to need to make a new animation controller for our zombie animation controller. Okay, and then I also want a couple of different masks. So that'll be avatar masks. Avatar masks. Okay, and we want a couple of those for, we want a mask for laying down. So a laying avatar mask, and we want a punch avatar mask. Okay, so far so good. That's all of the components we need for in the project view. Now I'm going to open up the animator now and dock it over here. Probably could use a little something like that. Okay, and save the scene. Save the project. Okay, next step, we actually need the zombie in our scene. So let's drag the model over to the scene, and now we have a cop zombie. Look at that. Great. And the game. Okay, let's also create a directional light. Light him up. And turn off my 3D gizmos. Okay. And I just want to spin him around. Face the camera. Maybe get a little closer on the camera. Yeah, that should do it. Okay. So now this is our zombie model in the scene, and I just want to link it to the controller that we created. So we need this zombie animation controller. Okay, now we have a state, Mechanim state we can control it with, and that's all we need there. Okay, now I want to create a couple different layers because I'm combining the animation. So I'll add a layer for laying down, and I'll add a layer for the punching. I wish this was resizable. Okay, and both can be set to override. That's great. Okay, and also in the different layers, I want to link these masks, and that will allow me to specify what parts of the animation I want to use. I guess I can click here and connect the laying mask with the laying mask, and connect the punching mask with the punching mask. Great. Okay. Save the scene, save the project. If I hit play now, okay, nothing's going to happen because it goes into the state and the state's empty. So now we take the animations. So I'll start with laying down. Here's the laying down animation, and drag the laying down animation over here. Alright, and you'll notice that it gets the same name as the animation as the state name. Right click the state, say make transition, and connect that to the animation state. Same thing for punch. So drag the animation to create the state, and right click any state, make transition, and now the two layers will both try to execute this state based on the weight. And now when I hit play, okay, here we go. And this weight will make him lay down. So that makes, he goes from the T-pose down to the animation state, and he's just laying there. I kind of wanted him on his belly, but that'll work. Okay, and then there's the punching animation, which, and he spun around here. 180. There we go. So if I want to take off the laying down, I can turn that down, and basically because it's on override, this state is overriding the other state. Alright, so far so good. Now we're going to use the mask to tell it what part of the animation to apply, because I only want the punching, the top part of the punching. So let's hit stop, save that, and we're connected to the masks. So now we pop over here to the mask, and we want to link the avatar. So we can pull in the skeletal information. So I'll click this little button, it'll pull the assets, and we want to tell it to use the cop zombie model avatar. And now we can import the skeleton, and you'll notice it has a body mask. I'm not going to use that part, I just need the skeleton to control what part of the animations I'm using. And we'll do the same thing for the punch avatar. So drop into the transform mask, select the model, pick it from your assets, and there's the zombie cop avatar. Import the skeleton, and there we go. Now we have more control over what part of the animation is being overridden. So now I'm going to hit play. Alright, hang on. I want to turn up the weights. I'll turn up the weight on the punch animation. So now they're both full on. Okay, save the scene, save the project. And now for the masking. Alright, so right now he's punching, doing his thing. I'm going to hop into the punch avatar mask, and we'll just turn it all. Okay. Interesting. Okay, hips. Huh. Okay, cool. Alright, so I turned off all the animation part. His hair, glasses. There we go. We'll just tweak this mask. I'll turn both masks all the way off. There we go. Alright, so now he's back in his T-pose. And he should be 180 here. Facing us. Okay, great. Now, laying on his back. The laying mask. Alright, so we do want him to be laying down. There we go. Okay, so we want him laying down, but we don't necessarily want his shoulders to be affected by the animation of the laying down. We want to use the punching part of his arm. So when we turn this off, that part of the animation is going back to the T pose. We don't want to control his neck from laying down or his right shoulder. Okay, and I might want to look at this from the scene so I can see closer what I'm doing here. Okay, and actually that's good. Okay, so he's in his T pose. For the punching, we can start to turn on certain things. So we want his hand animated. There we go, cool. Probably his arm too, so he can punch. There we go. Probably his shoulder. There we go. And his right shoulder. So he's laying down, and probably his head, his neck. Okay, so that's his upper body. Probably his eyes, his hair. Okay, everything but his hips, basically. Okay. Wow. Kind of creepy there, but that's what I was going for. Alright, so just as just that half of the zombie is being animated there, and then in the other part of the mask, depending on the model you get, this skeleton kind of changes, so it's always different, but that's what I was going for. I wanted to have him laying down. I wanted his top half to be animated from one animation and his bottom half from the other. Okay. One other thing we can use is, if you take a close look, if you see any parts of it that are doing weird things, let's see. I think that's just because I need to look at it in game view. Here we go. Okay, but if you ever see his arm going inside, you just use the weighting to control how much of it is affected. So if we want him to be laying down less, we can just bring that back a little bit. So you can control just the laying down part. And if you want to mute his punches a little bit, you can bring that down. There we go. So you can use your weight to affect the animations differently. Alright, in the next video I'll show you how to use a weight curve versus using just a single float to control how much of the animation is being used. Alright, thanks for watching. Booyah!